What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are upgrading wheels on one of our cars, and it is not the Mazda B2000. It is not my Toyota Tacoma. We're actually going to be updating the wheels on a car that hasn't been in the channel at all. I'm talking about the Mazda 3 that we have, a hatchback Mazda 3. This is actually my wife's daily, and we have some wheels here that will hopefully make that car look a little bit more badass. So let me just do a little bit of switch around in here so we can get those wheels off and get the new ones to the tire shop so we can swap them on, come back and put them on. Let's do it. Alright guys, so we got the car here in the air. It is definitely nose heavy, so if you're using a quick jack like I am, just be careful with your placement. Outside of that, 2021 Mazda 3 hatchback, super awesome car so far. It's been a great daily for my wife. So we have in here just your basic OEM 18s. We are going to reuse this tire, so we do have to take these wheels off, and then we're going to put the tires on the new ones. And here we have the new wheels. Let me get them out of the box so you guys can see it. All right guys, so we got all the wheels off the Mazda 3 now. All OEM wheels are here to the side, and then now we're gonna show you this. We're not going with aggressive specs. We're just gonna stick with an 18 by 8.5, and this is gonna be a 35 offset wheel. So let me show you here. Since our car is black, we are gonna go with a nice white wheel. I think it's gonna make everything shine. Look at that. It's gonna look good. Now these wheels have been coated. I did take them out of here. I coated them with our ceramic coating on it, so they should stay white a little bit longer, prevent some of that dirt to get in there, but they are pretty much ready to go. So let me bring my truck in here. We're gonna take them to the tire shop and get the tires mounted. Let's do it. Check it out guys. So there it is, just a quick test fit. Again, this is just 18 by 8.5 plus 35. We should be pretty much flush in here. It looks like on the back, we just clear out this section of it, so hopefully there is no rubbing back here with the shock or anything like that. I'm gonna move the wheel to the front just to do a little quick test fit as well. And then we're gonna take them to the tire shop. So, and here we are looking at the front, and the front looks good as well. We just clear out this strut here on the back. So I'm hoping once we put the tire on there shouldn't be a problem, hopefully. So we should be pretty good on everything. And again, we are pretty much flush here with the fender, maybe just a tiny little bit of poke in here, but I'm hoping once we put the tire on there, we won't have any rubbing or anything like that. So we're gonna find out here pretty soon. Let's do it. All right, everyone, after one eternity later, we are finally home. And man, I apologize, the sun is super bright right now, but look at that. We got some nice white wheels here ready to be mounted. They're a little bit dirty, obviously, because they have to put water and whatnot in there, but let me get them off the truck and into the car and clean them up a little bit. Then we'll pull out the car, see how it looks. Alright, so it's actually been a couple of days since that last clip, and the reason why is because as we started putting the wheels on and everything, it started getting super dark, so it's going to be really hard to show you guys. And on top of that, we also encountered a couple issues that I didn't account for back then. So let's just run into those issues and what were happening, and a couple of changes that we're going to do right now just to make the car a little bit better. So as you can see here, we have the car up in the air, and as you can see as well, we have the wheels on there. So we will pull the car out a little bit later just to show you how it looks from far away. But one of the issues that we encountered as we put this on was that I completely forgot to get hovering adapters. I mean, I've been used to my trucks. There's really not a good size for my trucks and the hubs on those wheels. So I never really bothered with getting hovering adapters, but on the car, I really think it's probably safer just to have them. It's not necessary, but it is safer to have them. So we did get some hovering adapters here, as you can see. And the size you're gonna need is 73.1 millimeter to 67.1. The hub in the Mazda 3 is 67.1. The hub in the Avid one wheels is 73.1. So this is gonna fill up the gap nice and neat in there, so that way the wheel is nice and center before we even put the lug nuts in there. Again, it's not necessarily needed. You can definitely center your wheel with the lug nuts, but again, this is just a little bit safer. Now, another issue that we encountered as we put the wheels on that I wasn't accounting for was that this area here is a lot more raised than I expected. The caps that come with these wheels are basically flat and flush with the center of the wheel, and it doesn't fit because of this part right here. So we did have to go ahead and try to get some raised center caps. Now, Avid One doesn't tell you what other center caps kind of fit in there and everything. So what I did was I measured the center cap that came with the wheels with a caliper, measure the inside diameters, outside diameters, and everything. And I want to get in and order ones that were pretty much a straight fit as far as I'm aware. They're supposed to get here a little bit later today, so we are going to show you those a little bit later once I get them in my hands. And then I'll also have links in the description if you end up going with this type of wheel or any other wheel that might have a similar flat cap style, you will have to get raised ones. The third issue that we have as well is we went ahead and put these red lug nuts in here, and quite honestly, we don't have any other red in the car. Everything is just pretty much black, white, or chrome. So we did feel like it looked, I don't know, a little bit out of place. I wasn't fully convinced with this. So what we're gonna do is I did get some black lug nuts. So we are gonna swap those into some black ones. So that way we have the car just kind of all nice black and white and a little bit of chrome in there. But let's get to work, swap all of this out, and then I'll show you guys how everything looks. All right, y'all, so we have switched all the wheels to the black lug nuts and put the hub rings in place. And honestly, at first I think I was going to recommend those J2 Engineering lug nuts. They seem like good quality. They seem like they were going to be solid, especially compared to my 6-speed ones. They look like a good replacement, but honestly, they are super soft. I mean, super soft. I had trouble taking one of them in the rear, actually, and this was the first time they've been on and taken off. So that's very concerning, at least to me. I did went with another set of J2 Engineering right now, which I am going to have to be a little more careful with tightening and untightening. I think you definitely can use power tools on this ones. The aluminum on them seems to be, like, again, just super soft. So I wouldn't recommend it. Just go with something else, honestly, at this point. The lug nuts that you're going to need are M12 by 1.5, so just look for lug nuts in that size and you should be able to fit something that fits in here just fine. Again, I am not happy at all with J2 Engineering ones, so don't get those, honestly. Outside of that, everything is looking good here. We are now ready to kind of bring the car down, make sure we torque the lug nuts all around to the proper torque spec, and we should be able to take the car out and show you how it looks from the outside. Let's do it. And just really quickly, guys, I want to show you here what's going on with the center cap. So this is the new center cap that we ordered. Now this one, I believe, is basically a replacement cap for the Avid one's AB06, if I'm not mistaken. Now this is the center cap that came factory with the wheels that we got. And as you can tell, maybe here from the video, they're pretty much the same width on them. The only difference also is that this top part, since this center cap kind of is raised and kind of towards the center, it is a little bit smaller than our stickers. So this sticker that goes into the original center cap does not go into this one. It's basically a little bit bigger than the center of the new center cap. And the way we got to that is by measuring them, obviously. So if we got my caliper here, we're gonna be able to measure kind of the distance between, sorry, let me just get it here. Distance between this, and you can kind of see here. So our factory is about 2.6 inches. Then our new cap here, 2.59, exactly the same. So this, again, this is the AB06, I think, replacement caps. They fit perfectly on the AB42s that we got. The only difference is going to be the sticker here. I recommend you go with this one just because you can buy the 4-pack of this ones for, I believe, under 20 bucks. I'll leave a link in the description for you to find it. But if you go with the original Avid ones, which is basically the exact same plastic cap, the only difference is that they'll come with the sticker that goes with it. But those are sold, I think, for around almost $20 a single cap. So big savings if you go this way. The only thing is you'll have to get a sticker that fits in there, but then you can go ahead and get Avid ones or just go with something else that you might like a little bit better and put it in there. All right, guys, and we are all done. So let me show you here how the car looks. I think it looks great, especially now with the black lug nuts. That looks a lot better. Look at that. And again, keep in mind, the car is definitely not lower. I think if it was lower just a little bit, it would look even better. But considering this is the daily car for my wife, she does not need to know how to drive a low car. It would basically make her daily just be more of a pain to drive, and we don't want that for her. So this stock height, 18 by 8.5, 35 offset. We are using factory tires on this, so we're using the 215 45 18 tires that came with the car factory, and honestly, this looks great. So there you have it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I think it looks great. Again, if you were gonna lower the car, be a little bit more aggressive potentially with the wheels, you can maybe go up just slightly on the offset, or I'm sorry, go lower on the offset a little bit, maybe to a 30. It will make this wheel stick out a little bit more. Again, that's just if you're gonna lower the car. If not, this offset and this wheel specs I think fits great, and it doesn't rub anything. You don't have any issues turning. It doesn't rub anywhere on the inside of the wheel as well. So pretty much a great daily setup if you don't want to mess with anything suspension wise or anything that sticks out too far from the fenders. That's all I have for today, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we like what we're doing. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye. Okay, so we got the wheel off, and just to show you really quick, you can see I already put my hub brake